Okay, so we've made some updates. I don't know if you remember, but this pipe was coming here and then it goes, actually, it used to go straight down into that line. What had happened was the Savio, the light wasn't very, I didn't think it was very good. Well, I don't know. It never really got installed because every time I would put it into the fitting, the whole thing would wibble wobble because of the current flowing through the pipe in an angle when it comes into the pipe, when it comes in contact with the bulb. And the bulb might, I think it's on its own, it's just too weak to be able to hold that pressure and not break. So I went ahead and ordered a different UV purifier, but I just bought the bulb because I had a UV ballast. It's kind of temporary anyway. I just wanted to see how everything worked. So this is the bulb, okay? And I don't know if you can tell, but this thing is long, all right? And then if you can see, there's a quartz sleeve in there, okay? And that quartz sleeve is press fit into this fitting right here. So into this fitting right here, in between it, there's this, and in between it, there's like a silicone gasket that's about yay wide, and it kind of hugs this quartz sleeve really tightly. I also wanted to mitigate any chance of that quartz like breaking from, wibble wobble from this, because the water pressure comes in through here and it makes a direct 90. So I think when it hits the tube, it's making it move and vibrate. And so my solution to the problem was make this tubing perfect so that when it cuts over into a 90, the quartz sleeve gets in contact with this directly. And since it's pushing this way, the quartz sleeve is also being held in position by just mere contact. So it's just got a real nice snug fit right down at the bottom, and then it reaches all the way to the top, and then so the quartz sleeve is solid. It doesn't move at all. It hits that, and then it just stops. And then this I hooked up to my UV ballast, and it's beautiful. It's working like a charm. It's so big. Look how long it is. It's like from here to there. The old one was from here to here about, I mean, like that, so I do still have the Savio UV light, clarifier light, so I'm thinking of maybe modifying this just a little more and putting in another T-fitting here, and maybe I do a second ballast here, and we'll do the same idea here, and we'll cut it down, and so that, it kind of hugs the bottom of the tubing. Now when this thing is on, you can't see it now obviously because it's daylight, but when it's at night, you come out here at nighttime, this whole tube is glowing like light blue, yellowish light bluish tint from the UV light from the inside, and that glowing continues all the way into here, and then all the way into here, and a little bit over here, and the whole tube is like a fluorescent light bulb, kind of, so to speak. It's actually pretty cool to see. So to make sure there's not any debris and stuff that gets in here, we just cap it off for now with that. I'll get a 2-inch pipe and I'll just cut it over, and then I'll put this on. I'll cap this off and then use a 2-inch pipe to give it a proper cover. And then that's about it. Yeah, that's the modification that we've made so far. Really stoked about the UV light being so bright. It seems to me like this bulb is way brighter than the Savio pump. And the Savio pump light, and the light bulb is like $100 and something. It's a really expensive equipment. It's not cheap equipment. And this was, with the sleeve, it was like $70. And this is actually a 55 watt, and I'm running it off of a 50 watt ballast. I know, whatever. It'll work. It'll be fine. So, in retrospect, this is, they say this is supposed to be meant for house water line, water purifier for the house. So put it in line, and it shoots the water right through it, and it's But I've jerry rigged it to use it on my pond. Should be the same thing. Actually, it is the same thing. So next future, I don't know, maybe a second UV light, but I want to see how far this can go. Trying to clear up the pond. I just installed it yesterday, so we'll see how everything works for the next week. See if it clarifies anything, and hopefully it does. And if it does, then there's really no need for the second light. The second light I might just install inside these inside this tank here to just kind of clean it of the algae before it goes into the water system. Well, technically it shouldn't really matter because it makes it through here and then it makes it to the pond, and then from the pond or through the piping it kind of comes back into the filter and then to the UV light. So in theory this should never make it into the pond, but since I have an extra one, why the heck not? And we'll just slap it in here and then just light up this tube, light this thing up right here, and then we should have most of the water purified before, because you see this is from the left side sump, and look how clear it is. There is no algae growth. This water is clean. This water, however, has got a lot of gunk in it. For some reason it's just not that clean. Look at it. You can see the green muck building up inside here, and this is from bottom of the pond. And I'm thinking maybe, I was wondering, I even wondered if this thing has got anything to do with making the water more green. So I might put a UV light in here to sterilize this before it goes into the pond, goes into the water system, and then, or just double up over there. We'll see what I feel like. I did already make the Savio. Okay. All right, and then so as you can see, here's the pond. The green water, mucky as muck can be. There's no question the water has got algae all over it. However, all the little bugs have died. The mosquito dunks have done a really, really good job of taking care of all the larvae, and I'm pretty stoked on the condition of the bugs inside the water. But I'm still disappointed about the whole water feature. And so the bonsai came in nicely after the repotting. It did go through a little shock, but it came right back to. All my Japanese maples are doing really well. They're all coming back to season. We got this orchid, just planted it today. Looks beautiful. Okay, so I'm walking over here because I want to show you that other light assembly that I made in Asia for preliminary makings. Okay, so this is how this setup is. See that UV light right there? And that is just gonna, after it goes in all the way, it should touch just about the base of that light bulb. So the light bulb, it stops it from vibrating, hopefully. Let me see if I can get it to do any vibrating right now. See, when it moves, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see the light bulb. This whole, the four prong, it actually shifts and moves. So I know for a fact there is an issue with that moving there. So, and how this system will work is, how this setup will work is, I've got a nut right here, loosen that up, and then I've got a, oh shit, I gotta pull on that somehow, don't I? I guess I'll just pull it apart. And then this thing slides out. Like so. And then once this is slid out,